What's going on, everyone? It's Joe here, and I'm bringing you guys my E3 EA Madden 16 review. And there was not a whole lot released, as you guys might have saw, to the press conference. That link will be in the description for that on Twitch. But what I'm here to talk about, guys, is what's been released so far. And Pasta Padre, or Brian Weedeye, put out a little post on what's been tweaked in the game, and that link will be in the description so you guys can read that as well. But I'll be throwing up some screenshots to it. I'm going to be going over the new draft champions, the new tuners that have been put into the game, the new features, and everything we know right now as of the first day of Madden 16's E3 release. The first thing I'm going to get into is penalties, and you guys have a whole time to read this, but basically what the penalties thing is saying is that EA Sports wants to give us, the hardcore fans, a more realistic experience, and by that they're going to add more penalties. How are you going to get penalties, you may ask? EA has now added a new penalty rating to a guy. So let's say a guy named Ndamukong Suh. He may not have a high penalty rating, which means he may take more penalties than, let's just say, Nick Fairley or Aaron Donald, guys like that. That's going to be a new feature in the game, and personally, I'm against it. I want to reward the user. I don't want the computer to be making stupid penalties. I don't want to have to shape my MUT team around a penalty factor. That's how I'm thinking. I don't want to be shaping a team I pick out of if he's going to take a penalty or not. And there's even more to penalties, such as pressing cornerbacks could also be turned into holding penalties on the corners or pass interference. Max protecting can lead into penalties by the offensive line. There's a whole ton of new features. Now, when you play your defense, you have to think about it now. Do I want to press? Personally, I like to press, and now I got to worry about a penalty rating as well. Starting off, I mean, that's a good way to make the game authentic and sim, but you're really screwing the user over. Like, if it's a 3rd and 38 or a 3rd and 20, let's be a little bit more reasonable. And I press because I want to jam him so he can't get that pass, that 4 verticals pass, or whatever. And I get a penalty, a pass interference, and he picks up the first down. I didn't do anything wrong. I'm not looking forward to that whatsoever. On the bright side, you can adjust the sliders, but I don't think these sliders are going to be adjustable online. I think they'll be set online to a moderate amount. And lastly, the encroachment, false start, offside holding, everything at the bottom, those are all the penalties that are in the game. And personally, I'm not looking forward to, I wanted less penalties. I wanted my guy not to be offsides when the guy runs hurry up, but that's taken out of the game. That's taken care of. But examples like that, I don't want to have to worry about my guy jumping offsides, my guy holding when I'm setting up my guys the way I wanted to, and the game just not doing it like that. Now I have to shape my game differently. It's going to be a whole different adjustment we're going to have to make, and let's see how it pans out. If the penalties are too frequent, it's going to really ruin the game, but only time will tell. Next is a very, very small addition, but a pretty cool one. It's procedural awareness head tracking. This is basically just the guy's going to have all eyes on the ball. He's going to be looking for the ball. The quarterback's going to be scanning. The running back's going to be looking for a hole, moving his head around. It's going to look a lot more realistic like in real life. Not really affecting gameplay, but affecting the way it looks. And you know what? If it doesn't hurt the gameplay and it makes the game look better, screw it. I like it. But work on the gameplay, and let's see what else is in this article. The next addition is pre-post and during the play motion quality. This is basically walking up to the line. The line's going to look good. There's going to be no more warps in the game. You ever see like we get tackled through a guy? That's out of the game now. And basically pile avoidance, post play path, everything. When you see a guy get like flipped over by an offensive lineman because he was laying down but he's trying to get up, you're not going to see that anymore. It's going to make the game look a lot better. This is great. I like the way it looks, but I want gameplay. I want to know what's going to be up with the gameplay. We're getting to that eventually, but this is still a pretty neat feature in the game. Next, we got ourselves legacy issues. These are basically community concerns, things that we've been complaining about for a while. And I'm going to get into it. The first one you can see down there is QB spy logic. Basically, you're not going to be able to swerve the spy anymore, hopefully to some extent. I still think some swerving is going to be allowed, but basically, they're going to update the awareness on the guy that you're spying. Next is flip the play speed and huddle break. So when like you come out in PA round and you flip it, you get up to the line really, really quick, or you just flip a play and you get up to the line really, really, really quick. That's out of the game. That's huge. It gives the defense somewhat of an advantage now. Not an advantage, but you're not at the disadvantage where you have to do your audibles a lot quicker. You can slow it down. It's a lot easier to get your setups in, and I kind of like both of these so far. Next is out of position subs causing exploitable routes to be addressed. I think this is basically having a wide receiver play a tight end, and the route's better when you run a wide receiver there, and so on and so forth. Next is rocket catching, mossing, DB glitches. Basically, there's going to be no more rocket catching, no more face catching to an extent, which kind of contradicts with the air supremacy, but we'll get into that. No more DB glitches. So basically, you're going to be able to go up in the air and try to fight for that ball, and that's what I want to see. I want to be able to see my guy go up there and try to come down with it. That's what I want from my guy. I don't want any more of this where I have no control. It's going to be a fight for the air, and in the next clip, you're going to see why there's going to be a fight in the air. Next is a large percentage of no nano blitz has been removed. There's always going to be nano blitzes or bugs of that matter, so they'll find one eventually, but for now the common ones are taken out of there, which is great. I love seeing improvements like that from EA. And then next is PA end around exploit has been addressed. It's either going to be you can't get up to the line quickly, one of the routes is messed up, or the play just doesn't work to perfection. You don't get that quick burst right off the line, so that's good to see. And PA end around is a really tough play. It's a great concept play. Next is route swapping exploits have been resolved, so no more route swapping. I never really fully understood what route swapping was, but it gave you a better result on the play when you ran the route swapping. I think that's what it is. Quote me if I'm wrong on that. Don't quote me if I'm wrong on that, but still. Good for EA. And then the last two, a variety of money plays have been revived or altered. I mean, I guess like PA end around, going back to that. Plays like that where they just kill it and they work for whatever reason. Almost like another type of face catch type of play doesn't work. Or maybe even they're lowering how good counters work or misdirection. And lastly, you resolve the friendly quick glitch for Madden NFL 16. Hopefully that means like there's no more challenge glitch or just the pause or whatever they've been working on. Hopefully they resolve that. I can't see the fumble glitch moving on or the pause glitch moving on. I really can't see any of that stuff carrying on to the next game. That's probably just a bug in the game, and hopefully they fix it onto the next category. Next is player Ballhawk, and this is why I said the defense is going to have a chance now. Player Ballhawk is now back, and it's basically letting you go up in the air for the ball. What we weren't able to do in Madden 15, hopefully we could do now in 16 to some degree. We always got to see what it is, but you're going to be able to use triangle or Y as soon as a pass is released to go up there and try to snag it. It's the best way to challenge a receiver, but the risk of triggering a catch animation behind the receiver, giving up a big play. So basically you're going to have a choice between playing the receiver or playing the ball, and you're going to have to pick. And eventually we're going to find out how to do that once Madden 16 is released. But right now it's a great addition. It's going to stop face catching, lob streaks, all those different types of plays. The next part is organic tackling and other tackling improvements. So basically, organic gang tackling is going to allow you to make a more realistic gang tackle. I think we saw it back in the day when you would like gang tackle, maybe the ball would pop out and you'd spam a button to get the ball out. Now they're basically saying that they've taken a look at the stats and seen that now there's a lot more assisted tackles. We got to add gang tackles. They're going to make them look pretty authentic. Along with that, there's going to be other tackling improvements. The suction tackles are no longer going to be in the system. That might be bad because suction tackles were really easy to stop counters and so on. But they did say they've taken the feedback to heart. But you can still use that conservative tackle. So you can still use the X or the A tackle that was on PlayStation or Xbox One. But also they added the aggressive tackle, which is square. I never really used square. I either used the suction tackle or I used the hit stick. But now square is going to be improved. So instead of just diving where your guy was facing, you guys actually get to dive by the ball, which is a lot better, a lot more responsiveness from the player. Exactly what I want to see, more gameplay improvements, better tackling improvements. Because guys, if we still can't tackle the guy's going to be able to run forever. Okay, suction tackles were good to an extent because they stop big runs. And if we can't stop big runs because of the offensive line improvement, we're going to have a hard time. So we might have to bite the bullet for suction tackles if that means we can stop runs. And boys, finally, the last part, this is the most important part of this video, is the quick adjustments and other additional improvements. So for the quick adjustments, basically, any guy in the field, you can manually hot route them on defense without even having to click on them. You can just click through the options on the guy, make him do what you want him to do without even having to click on him. Maybe if you're quicker with the click on, it'll be good, but we got to see how quickly you can do audibles and adjustments, and it basically gives the defense more of an advantage to setting up in time. Along with the additional improvements, the QB spy is readjust, but contained defenses. Contained defenses will help on counters and rolling out quarterbacks. So hopefully they stop the quarterback from cheesing and rolling out. Along with that, though, now there's going to be a new spy assignment. This is where it gets good. When there's a spy assignment, at any point in the play, you can make that spy chase a quarterback. This is done by clicking the right three, which is clicking in the stick once when he snapped the ball. So no longer can rolling quarterbacks be cheese, and no longer can they do the thing where they roll out, drag in the zone, and they hit the zone. Now you can choose when he goes after the quarterback simply by clicking in a button. Great job by EA there. No longer can they do the onside kick where you can't get the adjustment in time and they quickly onside kick it, even though onside kick's going to work that well. And then no longer can the offense no huddle and the AI defenders go offside. So great job right there by EA. Those last parts are key. Make sure to look them over. It's great stuff that we like to see. And now I'm going to get into Draft Champions and explain that to you. So now Draft Champions. This is what the screen's going to look like. All these photos are going to be real images from the game. What Draft Champions is you're going to have, I think, 15 rounds, and you're going to have 3 guys to pick and you only get to pick one of them per round. So you're going to get 3 different positions or 3 same positions. It could be totally random. You have to pick one of them to be on your team. After that, all the picks are made, your squad's done, and you got to play with the squad. I could have been wrong with 15 rounds, but that's how it's going to be done. And from that, you're going to go and you're going to play like a tournament style thing. Depending on how well you do is going to be how your reward is. Here's one of them. You got right here, you're going to see all these different guys. These cards are not the exact images of what the cards are going to look like, so don't freak out about that, guys. But there's going to be like a Legends round, supposedly from this images. There's going to be like an Elite round. There's going to be a wavered amount, and you have to see at the top there are 15 rounds. And it will show you your depth chart, and you can compare each of the guys to each other. So this is going to be awesome, and here's why. It gives you the MUT experience in one day. What you're allowed to do from this is play MUT, do this, and hopefully get a good coin reward that can help you out in MUT. And from there, take that and enjoy it. You can even use it if you want to test out cards. If MUT does this enough where they update it enough, you could be able to test out a card. Say there's a brand new Calvin Johnson. Don't want to buy the Calvin Johnson. Well, let me see if I get him in Draft Champions. I can see how good he is. Only flaw in this is there's no player friend mode. And I think they're going to try to add it. They may not, but if they do, it would be fantastic. Think of it, guys, as this. You're playing fantasy football, but you can't do a league with your friends. It's rough. You want to be doing it with your friends. This is going to lead to some really cool picks and some really tough picks. And I cannot wait to see how this pans out, guys. If you guys have any more comments about this, anything, any questions, let me know. I've been reading up a lot about this. If I miss anything, feel free to comment down below. Are you guys excited for Madden 16? Are you looking forward to Draft Champions? And if so, what do you like about Draft Champions? What do you think they should improve in it? What do you think about Madden 16 as a whole? What do you think about Air Supremacy? Once I come out with more gameplay, I will talk about Air Supremacy. But until next time, boys, make sure you comment and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.